What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over our NFL games for today on this nice Saturday slate. We have the Rams taking on the Panthers as well as the Packers taking on the Bears for the opening game of the wild card for our NFL playoffs this year. So not going to be going over any NBA today. We're going to keep it strictly NFL. So just two games. I'm going to give you guys two slips. It's going to be one slip for the Rams game and then one slip for the Packers game as well. I am going to have an NBA video for tomorrow as well as an NFL video for tomorrow. So we'll have two separate videos, and hopefully we can cash out today. Looking at our video from yesterday, I am going to be picking a winner from the comments to win a free month of VIP. I do this in every single video. If today's video gets 250 likes, I will select a random comment down below to win a free month of our VIP. So that being said, drop a like. Leave a comment on the video. You do have to be a subscriber to win. I do want to show you guys our bet tracker from yesterday because we've been tracking everything. And yesterday we profited $378. I'm about to show you the slips we did. We're up $4,259 on the month so far. And for the last 2 months, I am up $9,270 on our money lines with almost a 65% hit rate. So hit rate's actually been very good. You can see the 5th and the 6th, or the 4th, 5th, and 6th of just the 5th and 6th. So 5th and 6th of January, which I'm pretty sure both those were red. So yeah, the 5th and 6th had a little rough spell there. But ever since then, man, we have been on a massive win streak. And the slips I had yesterday are all right here. I had Knicks and the Bucks. So quick disclaimer here. Me and my dad were on opposite sides of the Suns-Knicks games. My dad liked Phoenix. I liked the Knicks. He posted the Suns before I posted the Knicks. So I ran the Suns line. I put a unit on that one for plus money. And then I ended up getting the Knicks plus 6.5, so I played a hedge on this. Knicks plus 6.5 with the Bucks plus 10.5, and that ended up being 250 to win 182. So we ended up cashing the hedge. Both the Knicks and the Suns money line cashed. We had an Indiana teaser. Indiana belt to A over on Oregon. Did not call the points right on that one, so I took the under 50. I think we got under like 57 is what it ended up being on that slate or on that game. And I mean, Indiana had 56 points by themselves. So you can imagine that game went way over. So that chalked our teaser for Indiana, or we would have swept yesterday. Had Miami of Ohio minus 1.5 on college basketball, which cashes as well. So yesterday, amazing day. Hopefully we can continue doing that again. Looking at some of our wins, here's the slips we played. Here's Phoenix Suns to win, 147 to win 300 was aces. I put 250 on this as a full unit on Bovada. You can see college basketball right here. Miami of Ohio, 245 to win 454. I had the Knicks plus 6.5 with the Bucks plus 10.5, 250 to win 182. We had Hemby and Brown over on Sleeper that cashed. A 3-man on Sleeper that cashed. We had $100 to win 500 on Underdog that cashed, a 60% profit boost, a nice dub there. And then another Curry and Jalen Johnson play over on Sleeper that cashed. So yesterday ended up being very green. I'm hoping we can keep it up. Let's go ahead and pick our winner from yesterday's video, because I know some of you guys get aggravated talking about these wins and going over this. But I like to do reviews. Or not reviews, but recaps of the day before. That way we can kind of look at where we're at, what we need to do with our unit size. Right now we're on a win streak. If you haven't joined, if you didn't get in before Wednesday, man, you've been missing out. So that's all I'm going to say. But we're on a win streak right now, coming off the L's from the end of December, and hopefully we can continue this little win streak and get two or three more days at least in a row. That would be really, really nice. But that being said, let's go ahead and pick our winner. So the winner from yesterday's video is going to be for Don Corleone, who said Green Day VIP. So Don, send me a message on Discord. I'll get you added for that VIP, my man. And I appreciate the comment. I appreciate the love and support from every single one of you guys. If you guys do want to join our Discord, the Discord's free. It is down in the description. Giving away some free picks probably today. If you guys want to be in there, probably an NBA slip for free. So join the Discord if you're not in there already. If you guys do want to get every single play that I post, you want to follow every single play that I'm personally playing on this calendar right here that's put me up 4.3K this month, then you can join our WAP. It's less than $10 a week if you use code NBA for 20% off, and it's less than $25 per month if you use NBA for 20% off. So monthly is $25, weekly is $10, 20% off gets you $20, and then $8 for a week. So you're not going to get a better price. It's extremely cheap for what we're doing, guys, and if you want to be a part of it, WAP's down in the description. But with all that, let's go ahead and talk about these games. So let me get these tabs closed out. I have so many tabs. So 2-game slate. Rams, Panthers, and then Packers, Bears. We all know what's going on. We got another night, I think 3 more games tomorrow. Tomorrow is a better slate. These games today are a little bit tough just because of weather, so I've got the weather pulled up to show you guys. We got a rainy game for the Rams and the Panthers. Now, yesterday's was a 72% chance of rain. So it's 43% chance. Medium to strong gusts, which is going to make, obviously, the passing game wet and windy conditions. Makes it hard to throw the ball. It's 72 degrees. If there was no rain, then this would be a beautiful game. But it's not. It is in Carolina. I will say, this game being a Panthers home game when they're 8-9 kind of rubs me the wrong way. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like that. I think that's stupid, but it is what it is. I'm gonna digress on that subject. But rainy weather, potentially. Same thing for the Packers-Bears, man. 34% rain. 33 degrees, I mean. And then cloudy skies, cold temperatures are expected for Saturday night's wild card game in Chicago. Some light snow is possible. Moderate to strong winds again from sideline to sideline make this hard for teams to rely on the passing game. Probably going to have to rely on the rushing game. All right, so that's what we're looking at here, guys. So we got some tough calls in terms of which player props we want to run. But let's talk about this Panthers game first, and we'll jump into it. So right now, Carolina is plus 480 underdogs at home. Now, some people hate this, and they're going to put a bunch of money on Carolina. I don't think Carolina wins this game. They have not shown me anything this season. Like, they barely made the playoff. They got lucky to make the playoffs. The team's 8-9, man. Like, I just don't. I hate how the playoff system works. But, anyways, I'm going to digress on that as well. Plus 10.5 underdogs at home. 45.5 total. Now, am I saying Panthers can't win? No, I'm not saying that at all. Panthers got the home field advantage. They could come out here fired up, and they could put belt to ass on this Rams team. They really could. Do I think that realistically happens? No, I don't. 72% of the money right now is going to be on the money line for the Rams. Then you got a 50-50 split on this this 10.5 spread, and that's for good reason, man. You give the Panthers 10.5 points at home, and it's hard to not think that they could cover that. For me, I'm probably not going to touch that 10.5. I'd probably run a teaser and either take the Rams minus 3.5 or take the Panthers plus 17.5 on a teaser. It's kind of what I'm looking at. Looking at these two teams right now, the Rams, I mean, towards the end of the season, had a couple of losses. They lost to the Falcons, lost to Seattle, beat Detroit, beat Arizona, lost to Carolina in their last game, 28-31. So it was a close game. That one was in Carolina as well. I can't remember the game script for that. I can't remember if it was like Carolina come back and beat them at the end or I can't remember how that game went. But regardless, they did beat them in the last game. If you look at the Panthers coming off of a loss versus Tampa Bay. That one was in Tampa Bay. They got beat by Seattle. The Seahawks whooped up on them 27-10. They beat Tampa Bay the game before that. So neither team's coming off of a win streak or anything like that. They've had their differences this season. Overall in the season, the Rams have looked like the better team, and I expect them to be the better team here today. You look at Rico Dowdle and Hubbard. That's pretty much the running game we have for the Panthers. We've got Kyron Williams and Blake Corum over on the Rams for the running game. I lean the running game edge to the Rams. I'm pulling for the Rams here, man. I got the Rams winning this game. If I run any type of teaser, it's going to be probably Rams minus 3.5. I might end up going with Rams minus 2.5 on a teaser, and then maybe over 37.5. I may end up running under 53.5. I don't know just yet what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk to Ace, which is my pops, for the ones who don't know, and see what he thinks about this game too, because the total was really what scares me on that one. But maybe I end up going Panthers plus 17.5. 17.5 is a big spread, especially if this game does get some bad weather and the total goes way down. But never know. The rain could go away completely. Gusts could not happen at all. Could be a very clear game. 70 degrees. It could be perfect weather for football, and they have a freaking shootout. So who knows what happens here. I'm going to check the radar as well. But regardless, that's kind of how I'm feeling this game. I'm feeling a Rams dub, and I do think that both running games could potentially have some success tonight. Next game, and the last game on the slate that we have, obviously, Packers versus Bears. So this one's in Chicago. The Bears are plus 117 underdogs, 1.5 point spread, and a 44.5 total. 70% of the money is going to be on Chicago. 62% on them covering a 1.5 spread. Taking a look at these two teams. So we already know Green Bay struggled to end the season. They lost 4 straight games. They did not have Jordan Love. Jordan Love is back in this game. Josh Jacobs has been suffering from some injuries. This Green Bay team has been beaten, hasn't been battered. Still missing some players. Obviously, they're missing Tucker Kraft here, injury reserve. They're missing Micah Parsons, injury reserve. They're missing so many players, man. They're struggling a little bit. obviously. I don't know how great Jordan Love's feeling either. Same for Josh Jacobs. I don't know how beat up he actually is. I struggle to trust this Green Bay team. And they're on the road in Chicago in a very cold game. Looking at the Bears coming off of a close loss to Detroit, and they got beat by a close loss to San Francisco. So this Bears team could have ended the season freaking strong, man. They beat Green Bay 22-16, and then lost those two games, which could have been a really strong resume for this Bears team going into the playoffs. Now, looking at Chicago, are they my favorite team? Not by any means, man. This Chicago team has, I feel kind of like how I've been feeling versus for the Suns. Like, I think that the team's okay, but I don't think they're as good as they looked, personally. But Bears have really just, I can't really say anything bad about them because they've made the playoffs and they won 65% of their games and they haven't looked bad at all. So I'm kind of leaning this Bears team. I'm kind of going against the Green Bay team that I thought was going to be a powerhouse this season, and they've looked okay. Injuries, I know, have been a big part of the Green Bay struggle this season, but I'm kind of leaning Bears here at home, man. I think the Bears overall this season have been more consistent. Caleb Williams has looked pretty dang good this season, to be honest with you. And when you look at how the weather is in this game, I don't know that I trust Jordan Love in that situation. So just saying, I don't trust Caleb Williams either. I'm gonna be honest with you. You got a potential snow and windy game. It's very windy. This passing game could struggle a lot. You got Josh Jacobs, DeAndre Swift, and one guy who's gonna be running the ball. Which running game do I trust the most? Probably Josh Jacobs if he's healthy. But how healthy is he? That's the thing. Like I don't know what his I don't know how he's actually doing, so it kind of scares me a little bit. But anyways, looking at this, you got a 44.5 total. If I was running a play for this, I'm probably taking Chicago plus 8.5, a 7-point teaser, set plus 8.5, and probably the under 51.5 is probably what I'm looking. And if you're looking at these totals on Outlier, which Outlier has a 7-day free trial in the description if you want to try it out, you can always alt these lines. And you can come here. So if you bought seven points on this, we'll put it at under 51.5, and you can see where these teams have been all season. So 29% of the games have been over for Green Bay, and then 24% have been over for Chicago. So these teams have not been having very many high-scoring games. Head-to-head, none of the games they've played in the last 4 games have went over 51. So the under looks very good on this game. I will say 50-50 for over 44.5. So, yeah, under 51.5 I like a lot. That's probably what I'm going to run. I'm probably going to run it with Bears plus 8.5. So, just throwing it out there if you want to run that teaser. More than likely, that's what I'm going to run. So, with all that being said, guys, let's lock in some slips live. Let's go ahead and get these popped off, and let's have us a green day today because I'm feeling good about this slate. But even though it's a 2-game NFL slate, we got NBA as well. NBA will be in the Discord. There's going to be NBA all day, I promise. So, don't get discouraged about that. But let's talk about our first slip of the day. So the first one that I'm going to have is going to be for our man Rico Dowdle. I'm going to trust Dowdle for this Panthers team. I'm going to trust the run game. I'm going to trust them to be able to keep this game close enough versus the Rams to where they can run the ball because I do not trust Bryce Young at all. I'm going to be honest with you. So looking at Rico Dowdle, he has struggled to end this season, but his rushing yard line is not that high. You can get him at 35 yards on Prizepicks, and the payout is decent. So if you play him on Prizepicks, let's pull up Rico Dowdle. So we're going to go to rushing yards. Dowdle at 34.5. And then you pair him, let's say, for Kyron Williams, 59.5. That gives you a 1.8x. And Kyron Williams can give us 60 yards. Now, if we're looking at Kyron Williams, I'm probably leaning his rushing receiving yards before just rush yards. I'll probably take the extra 10 on here and play this. But if you look at this slip, you got it's a 1.7x right now on Prizepicks. So I'm showing you this because I want to show you the difference in value compared to playing it on parlay play. So right now, Rico Dowdle, 34.5, Kyron Williams, 69.5 rushing receiving yards. I'm going to pull Dowdle up here on parlay play. If you play him on parlay play, you can't get 34.5, but you can get 39.5. And that extra 5 yards gives you a lot higher of a payout. So let's pull up, who am I talking about? Kyron Williams. Rushing receiving yards at 59.5 or 69.5. My bad. This gives us a 1.91x. Now that I say this, I'm pretty sure I can just lock Prizepicks in at the same, like 39.5, and we can check value that way. I think that makes some more sense. Yeah, I don't know what I was going at. So it's a 2x. Yeah, so Forget anything I was about to say about playing this on Prize Pick or on parlay play, because the value is not going to be as good on parlay play. It's 1.91x compared to a double up over on Prize Picks. So if you're going to run this slip, I'd run it on Prize Picks. But I'm looking at Dowdle for 35 to 40 yards. He's been very consistent this season. He's averaging 13 rush attempts. Now the last few games they do split the rush share. I ain't going to say they're not. But 7, 12, and 9. Now these games, some of these games they've been losing. Tampa Bay, they beat 23 to 20. But it was a game that they were struggling in. Seattle, they were down 10 to 27. He still got 12 carries. I'm expecting them to rely on this run game today. I think Dowdle's going to get plenty of carries. This Rams team hasn't been amazing at stopping the run. They give up 111 rushing yards per game, and the running backs is around 89. So splitting the carries between Dowdle and Hubbard, like this is going to be a pick the one you like better kind of thing. Looking at their lines, I'm kind of leaning Rico Dowdle. I'm going to be honest with you. Dowdle's looked okay, and he's had some big games this season. The head-to-head game, he had 58, his only game this season versus the Rams. And that was with 18 rush attempts. Now, do I think he gets 18 carries today? Probably not even close. But I do think he gets at least half of that, and I think 35 to 40 is going to be doable in this game. So give me Dowdle for 35 to 40. Is that I'm super confident on that play? No, I'm not. Obviously, it's running game for NFL lately has been struggle for me in terms of player props, but I do want to give him a chance today. And then pairing him with Kyron Williams, we already had rush and receiving yards. Let's pull it up. 69.5. And let's see here. So rush and receiving yards, we're getting a pretty good little discount here. He's cashed it 9 of his last 10 games, and he's cashed it 14 of 17 games this season. Head-to-head versus Carolina, he had 72 in his only game. That was all rushing yards. He had no receptions. If you come down here and look at his targets, you might be like, Ryan, why are you taking rush and receiving yards if he's didn't have any catches versus the same Carolina team earlier this season? So that's the only game this season where there's one target. Here it is. Where one of the only games this season he didn't have a catch. So one of 2 games where he did not even have a reception was versus Carolina. Look at his last 3 games. 5, 3, and 6 in terms of targets and 3 receptions in each one of those games. You give this man 2 or 3 receptions, and it's a 10-yard difference between his rush game and his rush and receiving game that we're taking in terms of this prop. So 10 yards, couple catches, he's cashing it for sure, in my opinion. Now, if you come here and look at his receiving yards, if I can find it, so receiving yards, he's averaging 16.5 on the season. Any of these games where he's getting some carry or some catches, he's going over this line. And if you look at his last 3 where he's averaging 3, he's had 15 to 40 receiving yards per game. Looking at Carolina's receiving yards defense, they don't have a very good defense. It's kind of middle of the pack. But I'm expecting Kyron Williams to get some targets today. I think he gets a couple catches, and I think he's going to go over the 69.5 rush and receiving yards for us. If you prefer taking Blake Corum, I don't think Corum's a bad bet at all. Corum's been looking good as well. This is one of those, like, they split the running back, so it makes it hard to find the one. But I'm gonna lean on old Trusty in the start of the playoffs, and I'm taking our man Kyron Williams because I think he does cash. So looks like the best value here is going to be on Prize Picks. I'm going to lock it in right here on Parlay Play just for the video. I don't recommend doing this. I do recommend playing where the best value is. I do want to say, if you guys do sign up for Parlay Play with my code Fantasy Aces, we are giving away free VIP to anyone that signs up, and you also get $5 for free when you sign up with our code. So Parlay Play will throw in $5, you get a deposit match, and you get free VIP. So link's down in the description. Parlay Play, code Fantasy Aces. Let's lock in this slip live. We're going to come to track picks. We're going to refresh, and you guys can't see, we got Rico Dowdle with Kyron Williams, 39.5. 69.5 locked in, and like I said, once again, it is better to play this on Prize Picks. Now, the next slip I did lock in on Underdog. 1 second, your boy's getting a text. Okay. I did lock in this last slip on Underdog. I'm going to pull up the slip. I can't lock it in live on video because this is the only place you can play unders on Outlier. So let's talk about it. So the first pick that I have is going to be Jordan Love. I'm running an under on Love because of the weather, because of the gusts. And I'm hoping that Jordan Love's passing game is a struggle tonight. So I'm taking Jordan Love under, and this line is very high, which is why I'm running it. Under 259. Let me find this. You're going to have to customize this. 259 passing yards. So that's what we're getting it at. You can get it on Underdog only. He's been under 10 of 15 games this season, which is 67% of games. So there's only been a few games he goes over. Yes, if he has a big game, he definitely can go over. It's a massive shootout or something. I'm not thinking this is going to be a shootout. I really don't. Looking at Chicago's passing yards defense, yeah, they give up 227 yards per game, 22nd ranked pass defense in the league. They haven't been super good at stopping the pass game, but I just don't trust Jordan Love under the pressure tonight. 3 of his last 4 games have been under versus Chicago. 1 game he barely went over. It was a 20-19 game. But if you look at this season, he had 77 in the last game, and then the game before that, he had 234, still going under, and now he had a pretty decent game that game. They do throw the ball 51% of the time. Like I said, I think they're going to be relying on the run today, and potentially, just depending on how the weather is, and Josh Jacobs may be getting quite a few carries, but I think Jordan Love under 260 is probably one of my favorite plays. I was looking at Caleb Williams or Jordan Love, couldn't figure out which one I wanted to run the under on the most. Ended up taking Jordan Love because his line was a little bit higher, so that's what I took. So if you don't want to tell this, you don't have to, but I am going to pull up this slip to show you what I did play. And this was a $50 max on Underdog. So I played a 50% or a 40% profit boost with Jordan Love under 259, and I took Santos over 1.5 extra points made. So I'm assuming that this Bears team can score 2 touchdowns and kick the extra point. Now, Gusts are going to be tough on these extra points. I've seen a lot of kickers miss extra points this season. The Gus is not going to be good for that. Hopefully they can time it right, but Santos here, over 1.5 extra points. His line is 2.5 for plus 130. It is, let's see here, minus 300 on DraftKings to go over 1.5. So he's been over 9 of 15 games this season. Head-to-head, he only had 1 his last 2 games versus Green Bay. Yes, I see that. I'm expecting him to get this tonight. Now, Green Bay gives up 5th in the league in terms of extra points allowed. They give up 1.8 per game. This could be sweaty. I'm not going to lie, but I do think this Chicago team at home is going to be able to score two touchdowns. And one game, the last game was at home. The game before that was on the road in Green Bay, and they still have one. Scored 21 points here with 1 PAT, and then scored 22 points here with 1 PAT, which to me is just unlucky, if we're being honest. So I do think Santos gets this. If you want to fade it, you can. But this is the second slip I'm running. It's 1.88x, right at 1.9x, something like that. So 50 to win, $92. If you want to pair it on Underdog, you can. They do have some type of deposit match right now where they're giving an extra 25% if you already have them. So I do recommend taking advantage of that if you just want the free $25. But other than that, guys, if you haven't signed up for Underdog, code Fantasy Aces, you can get a $100 deposit match on your first deposit and free VIP. So that's what I've got for today, guys. I know this video is it's like 20 minutes long, so it's not super short. But no, it's only a 2-game slate. Some people might be disappointed there's no NBA. There's NBA and VIP. I'm going to have NBA tomorrow. NBA starts early on Saturdays at 1 p.m. If to do NBA on this right now, I'm going to have to do the video the night before. And I meant to do that last night. I just didn't get a chance. So that's what I got. Dowdle and Kyron Williams. And then I've got Jordan Love and Santos. So lock them in if you like them, guys. Fade them if you don't. I'm feeling the sweep today. And I'll see y'all in the next one.